Hey, it's Buzz. Today, I want to talk about something I touched on in the last video, which is perspective. What do I mean by perspective? I think particularly in the case of a bereaved parent, there is a level of perspective, of seeing the world around you in a new light that, you really can't gain from any other kind of experience. I've said before that I can't expect my experience to be mirrored in everyone else's, but I do think that whether we realize it consciously or not, we all gain this new kind of perspective. Um, Reflecting back on my own experience, I remember very soon after we were told of our son's death, I had this kind of epiphany. I remember thinking, everything that I thought mattered really didn't. You might find this hard to believe, but I used to get wound up about almost everything. I was overly neurotic. I always had something to worry about. I remember my mom used to tell me that I always seemed to carry the weight of the world on my shoulders, and she was probably right. But here I was in this moment with this sudden realization that everything I once thought was worth getting stressed about just wasn't. Work stress, bills, family relations, whatever. What I realized in that moment was that all of those things had the potential for resolve. I'm not saying necessarily an easy resolve, but resolve nonetheless. This, however, the loss of my son was the most helpless experience I'd ever gone through. I couldn't do anything about it. He was gone permanently, and there was nothing I could do. No amount of money, no amount of pleading or begging could change that and bring him back. And as horrible as that was, and still is, the upside of it all, if there is one, ever since that day, May 12th of 2017, nothing ever seems to really get to me anymore. It reminds me of that book called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff. I never read the book, but I think I get it. I don't know about you, but even this pandemic, as horrible as it is, and my heart goes out to those who have been more directly impacted by it than me. But honestly, it's been more of a big inconvenience than anything else. It's been in the backdrop. When I hear about the people who are concerned about their rights being infringed upon because they have to wear a mask into the grocery store or the 7-Eleven, I honestly think, how lucky are you that that's your biggest issue these days, that that's the battle you want to take on? One might argue that I've lost my fire because I just can't be bothered to take on the issues of the day. Maybe that's true. But I'm okay with that because, the trade-off is nothing really seems to rattle me anymore, except people who don't use their turn signals. They're there for a reason, right? Look, I know we need to care about our world, and I do. If I didn't, I wouldn't be making these videos. But maybe apathy isn't always a bad thing, and maybe it's not apathy. I'd like to think it's just the result of a different perspective. Anyway, keep moving forward, and don't forget to use your turn signal.